You're not watching this video by chance, and deep down, you already know it. Because for a long time, something within you has been crying out for answers that men cannot provide, for explanations that go beyond human words, for a deeper meaning that no superficial preaching has ever been able to reach. This feeling that haunts you in moments of silence, this restlessness that insists on refusing to leave you alone, is actually the sound of my spirit calling yours. And today, with authority and in purpose, I tell you, this message is not ordinary and it is not for everyone. It is for you, whom I myself have brought here. Throughout your journey, you realized there was something different pulsing inside you. It's not pride, it's not vanity, and it's an invisible weight that only you feel. A strange fire that burns, but that no one around you seems to recognize. You tried to adapt, tried to keep quiet, tried to fit into the mold of religion. But the more you tried, the further you felt from what truly called you from within. This happens because what I placed within you is not to be diluted. It is to be revealed in due time, and that time has come. What I'm about to unleash on your life won't be comfortable, but it will be necessary. Because I've called you not to echo what's already been said, but to bear truths that many don't dare face. This message is like a spiritual key, and if you listen to the end, you'll understand why I've kept you hidden until now. But before we reveal what's behind the curtain, are you truly prepared to know what most prefer to ignore? I know that even now, these words are stirring something within you, because heaven brought you here with a clear purpose. And when God calls, He also empowers. Therefore, if this word resonates with you, I invite you to be part of this journey. Subscribe to the channel now and activate the bell, because what is being revealed here is not a series of videos, it is a prophetic call, like this video, so this message reaches other hearts also waiting for a sign. You are not alone. You are part of a people who still hear God's voice amidst the noise. And together we will walk until all that was promised is manifested. You've been feeling this weight on your chest that no one sees. You carry an anguish you can't explain, even to those closest to you, because every time you tried to open up, it was misinterpreted. Some thought it was an exaggeration, others said it was drama, and many simply ignored it. But I saw it. I heard every silent prayer, every tear shed in places where no one was present. I saw you keeping quiet to avoid causing trouble. I saw you swallowing truths to avoid losing friendships. I saw you preferring silence to avoid being accused of rebellion. And even when you were silent, you felt something was wrong, not with you, but with what was being hidden around you. For some time now, you've noticed something isn't quite right. You go to services, listen to sermons, read verses, but you feel that the surface isn't enough. You long for depth, for a revelation that touches beyond emotion and reaches straight to the spirit. And it's not for lack of faith. On the contrary, it's because your faith is no longer content with the shallow. You want more of me, but you've noticed that many around you are satisfied with little. And this difference bothers you. You begin to feel like an outsider within your own church. You begin to question whether you're the one who's wrong. But I tell you, no, it's not you. It's your spirit reacting to something that's being omitted. You are saddened to see how the truth has been adapted to avoid offense. You are saddened to realize that my name is used, but my power is neglected. Repentance is no longer spoken of. Sin is no longer confronted. There is no longer warning of the time that is approaching. And within you, something cries out, a muffled cry, a clamor you try to suppress so as not to appear radical. But it is impossible to silence what I myself have planted in your spirit. You have been sealed with discernment. And because of this, you see what many do not see. You feel what many do not perceive, and you carry a burden that only those who are separated by me understand. You tried to belong, you tried to get involved, you tried to believe it was just a phase. But with each attempt, the anguish grew, Because the closer you got to the system, the further away you felt from the truth. And the truth is, the church you imagined you'd find wasn't the one right before your eyes. And I know this hurt you. I know it hurt to realize that not everyone wants to hear what I really have to say. But even with this pain, you didn't give up. Because within you there is a genuine love for my presence, a sincere desire to be guided by the truth, even if it costs you relationships, positions, or acceptance. Have you ever felt alone, even when surrounded by brothers? Have you ever cried in silence while everyone around you smiled? Have you ever asked, God, why do I feel all this and no one else seems to notice? And the answer, my child, is simple and profound at the same time. Because I gave you spiritual eyes to see where many are blind. Because I gave you spiritual ears to perceive sounds that many consider praise. Because I gave you a sensitivity that is not weakness. It is a weapon. It is a tool. It is the mark of your calling. And no matter how much they try to silence you, this weight only increases, because what you feel is not madness. It is my voice trying to awaken what religion has put to sleep. You wonder if it's really the time to speak. You're afraid of appearing arrogant, of being misunderstood, of losing even more. But let me reveal something to you that will open your eyes. This pain you feel is not just a symptom of your sensitivity. It's an announcement of your sending. Every pain born of the Spirit has a prophetic purpose. And the pain you carry is not yours. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the body. It belongs to the church that has turned away from me and desperately needs someone who dares to break the silence. And that's why you feel what you feel. Because I'm preparing you to say what no one wants to hear. You came this far, thinking it was just another video. But now you realize that each word is tearing at your core, touching places you didn't even know were hidden. And I tell you, this is just the beginning, because what I will reveal to you will confront structures, challenge traditions, and free those who have been enslaved by human doctrines. But to do so, you must understand that this pain was never a punishment. It was my seal. It was my touch. It was the way I chose to separate you from the crowd. And now that you know why you carry this weight, are you ready to find out what exactly I'm about to do with it? Now tell me honestly, have you been feeling unexplained spiritual fatigue? A constant anguish even when you're in places of faith? Have you ever felt something was wrong in the air but couldn't quite pinpoint what it was? If so, write in the comments which of these spiritual symptoms has been most present for you lately. Your answer could be the beginning of a divine diagnosis that will change everything. So here is a spiritual challenge for anyone who felt that this word was written directly to them. Declare your response to heaven by writing in the comments with boldness and faith the phrase, Lord, I accept the weight of truth. This isn't just a phrase, it's a surrender. It's the beginning of a spiritual liberation that will mark your life forever. And if you had the courage to listen this far, then prove you also have the courage to take a stand. Do you accept this call? Respond in the comments. Heaven is listening. Son, now that your spirit has begun to understand what it has felt for so long, it is time for me to reveal to you what heaven has always known about you. Because while many questioned your intensity, I celebrated your dedication. While they called you exaggerated, I called you chosen. While they tried to dim the brilliance of your discernment, I intensified the light within you. It was not I who separated you to please men. It was I who chose you to confront lies. And what I'm about to reveal to you will change the way you view your journey so far, because everything you have experienced is part of a greater plan that is only now beginning to be revealed. Don't think it was a coincidence every time you tried to serve but were rejected. Don't think it was a coincidence when you offered to help and were ignored. every closed door, every silence, every injustice suffered between the lines of spiritual conversations was a preparation. You weren't being forgotten, you were being hidden. Because if I had revealed you ahead of time, they would have used you. They would have molded you. They would have diluted you. They would have transformed your essence into a tool of the system. And you weren't born to be used by religious structures. You were born to be a direct channel of my voice. Even when that voice bothers, even when it confronts, even when it exposes what's rotten behind beautiful speeches. My child, listen carefully. The restlessness that dwells within you is not random. It is a summons. I myself planted it within you. And no matter how much you try to silence this cry, it returns, stronger, deeper, clearer, because it does not come from the flesh. It comes from my spirit, and what you feel, this sense of urgency that there is something that needs to be spoken even if you don't know how, is my spirit pushing you to the place where your voice will finally be used purposefully. You were not called to repeat what everyone else says. I did not single you out to be just another one in the crowd. You were not born to obey religious scripts written by human hands. You were born to be the mouthpiece of heaven on earth. And for this reason, you will be rejected by many, because truth has a cost, and the cost is being misunderstood, called exaggerated, branded a rebel. But I ask you, what is worse, being rejected by men or ignoring the calling I placed within you? I made you for difficult times. I designed you for times of deception, and that is why your voice needs to be restored, purified and raised, not for your name to be known, but for my truth to be revealed. I've known you since before the foundation of the world, and I knew you would bear the weight of what I'm entrusting to you now. I knew you would have the courage to pay the price. I knew that even wounded, you would still say yes, even without applause, even without an audience, even without a pulpit. I formed you to break the silence. I made you to show the way amidst the confusion. And today I come as a father who honors the faithfulness of the hidden son, because all the pain you've experienced so far has been silent. Training for the time of exposure. You are no longer in a time of hiding. You are in a time of liberation. And what once burned within you will now be proclaimed with authority. Because when I set someone on fire, it is to burn away all lies around them. And this fire that dwells within you will no longer be controlled. It will consume what is being hidden for convenience. It will reveal what has been disguised as holiness. It will cleanse what has been contaminated by fame and manipulation. And you, my child, will be a living torch in the hands of my spirit. But know this, the anointing I give you is not to please listeners. It is to free the captives. Many will not bear to hear what I will say through their lives, but those who listen will be transformed. And those who try to silence you will see that it is not your voice that speaks, but mine. You will be the echo of what heaven has been shouting for ages, but which few have the courage to hear. And if all this already touches your spirit, wait until you see what I'm doing behind the scenes of your life, because even without realizing it, you're being repositioned for something even greater. And I want to show you that now. Now, close the eyes of your body and open the eyes of your spirit, because what I'm going to show you isn't visible to everyone. Only those who have been separated by my spirit will understand what I'm about to reveal. Look carefully. You're inside a dark room, but you're not trapped. There's a dim light on the ceiling, enough to keep you standing, but not strong enough to show you the way. All around you are voices, crowds, invitations, opportunities, platforms, and yet you remain there, standing still. Not because you're lost, but because I haven't yet said go. Many rushed and ran toward lights that didn't come from me. Others entered through doors I didn't open. But you, even without understanding, chose to wait. And this waiting took deep root within you. Because while you waited, I worked. While you cried about having no direction, I adjusted details in the invisible. While you prayed for signs, I prepared people who would cross your path at the right time. You thought nothing was happening. But the truth is, everything was already moving silently. Now look once more with the eyes of faith. See a field lined with arrows in a quiver. Many have already been released. Some fell short of their target, others strayed along the way. But one, in particular, remains hidden. Its brilliance is distinct, its cut is precise. It is no ordinary arrow. It was sharpened with pain, carved with tears, sealed with prayer. And now, finally, it is about to be released. Do you know who this arrow is? It is you. You weren't abandoned. You were being guarded. Because you couldn't be sent just like that. Your mission demands precision. And for that, I kept you away from exposure, from the spotlight, from ego. While many sought to be seen, I taught you to see, while others sought the stage. I trained you in secret, and even when you doubted yourself, I knew exactly the moment I would release you. That hour is coming. The tension on the bow is increasing. My arm is extended, and when I release, nothing can stop the destiny I have set for you. See also the chains falling from your feet. They weren't placed there by external enemies. They were imposed by words, criticisms, and self-judgments you absorbed along the way. Words that told you you weren't capable, weren't holy. Enough weren't chosen. But today, before my altar, I declare all these chains are being broken now, because you will no longer walk in fear. You will march with authority, not as one seeking approval, but as one already approved by heaven. And now that you see clearly what was once just a feeling, I need to show you why I've positioned you this way. Because every spiritual insight you receive is actually a reflection of something greater, something still hidden, but about to emerge. And when it does, you'll understand that what seemed like delay was always strategy. Son, now that your spiritual eyes have been opened, I need to make you understand something fundamental. You were not rejected. You were preserved. You were not excluded. You were strategically positioned. Every pain you faced, every apparent loss, every no that hurt like a deep cut, was part of a process of alignment with my will. I know that at many times you asked me, in tears, why things didn't happen as you expected. Why, even praying, fasting, and believing, the answer always seemed delayed. But today I explain to you, I wasn't punishing you. I was preparing you for something greater than you imagined. You wanted an answer, but I was shaping your inner self. You asked for direction, but I was teaching you to trust even when there were no signs along the way. You sought visibility, but I needed to teach you the value of the hidden, because the greatest miracles I perform don't happen in the spotlight. They happen in silence, where no one applauds, where no one sees, where only I am witness. And it was in this place, far from the expectations of others, that I built something within you that now no one can erase. My plan was never to place you where men wanted you. It was to take you where only my purpose could sustain you. If I had allowed you to ascend before your time, you would have been corrupted by people's approval. You would have confused human acceptance with divine confirmation. You would have begun seeking applause, not my voice. That's why I hid you, I preserved you, I refined you. Because what I'm about to do through your life requires someone completely aligned with my will, not with the demands of a generation that trades truth for spiritual comfort. You passed through closed doors and you thought it was the enemy. But it was I who closed them. Because you asked to live in the center of my will, and the center of my will often demands renunciation. It demands solitude. It demands silence, and it was in this silence that I revealed to you who you truly are. Now, do you understand why everything happened as it did? Because I wasn't just changing the circumstances around you, I was shaping you from within. And now, finally, your inner self is ready to sustain what heaven is about to unleash upon you. And when you realize what I've prepared, you'll understand that it was all worth it. You'll look back and realize that the time of waiting was actually the time of construction. And if your spirit is ready to carry this weight, then it's time to hear heaven's declaration over your life, because the time of manifestation has arrived. Now listen, for what I am about to declare to you is not a distant promise. It is a spiritual activation for this time. My child, today, the heavens change your season. Waiting is being replaced by an answer. The silence that surrounded you is being broken by clear direction. That which was blocked begins to move. That which seemed unattainable now draws near. For I, the Lord, say, the time has come to break with everything that kept you stagnant. The voice I silenced for protection. Now I free it for mission. You will be a prophetic mouth where before you were only a listener. You will be an instrument where before you were only an intercessor. What was once just a cry now becomes fulfillment. What was desert will become a platform. And what seemed like rejection will reveal itself as a seal of authority. Because where others gave up, you remained. Where many retreated, you advanced even in tears. And so, today I clothe you with a new mantle, the mantle of revelation, the mantle of boldness, the mantle of one who speaks in my name without fear of human consequences. Your voice will no longer be muffled. The truths I have placed within you will be released with wisdom, but also with firmness, not to cause division, but to generate liberation. And many who resisted your presence before will now be healed through your obedience. For I am the God who transforms the rejected into a reference, the invisible into influence, the forgotten into a messenger. And I tell you, that which hurt you will be the same instrument I will use to heal others. You will transform pain into a living word. You will transform tears into anointing. You will transform silence into a voice that awakens the sleeping. From this day forward, nothing will be the same again. Not only within you, but all. Around you, the atmosphere will react to your presence. Darkness will recede before your conviction. Environments will align to the sound of your obedience. And even if fights, persecution, or criticism come, what I have placed within you can no longer be contained. Because when heaven decides to release, not all of hell can stop it. And today, before my angels and my altar, I declare, the time of your victory has begun. And those who mocked your waiting will witness the power of your sending. Now I want you to do something with me, not just listen, but participate in this sacred moment. Because the calling I have given you is not to be lived passively, but to assume your position as the chosen one, the prophet, and the instrument of my will. So, take a deep breath, close the eyes of your body for a moment, and open the eyes of your spirit. Feel the fire I have placed within you and allow it to manifest in a simple yet powerful action. If this word touched your heart, write now in the comments with all faith, I have been set apart to reveal the hidden. Don't let fear of rejection or the silence of others stop you from affirming what I am confirming in your spirit. This is the time to declare, to take on your mission out loud, even if only heaven hears. Because every prophetic word has power, and yours can awaken other hearts still trapped in doubt and fear. Furthermore, I invite you to share this message with someone you know who also feels this restlessness in their spirit, but who hasn't yet understood their calling. By sharing, you are participating in my work, being a channel for the light to reach those who need to be awakened. Don't underestimate the impact of a simple gesture made in obedience. Finally, say a silent prayer, asking for the courage to continue even when the journey seems lonely. Ask me to strengthen your voice and open the doors no one can close. Know that this symbolic action you just took is the first step toward the powerful manifestation that is to come. And remember, I am with you even when you don't see it, even when it seems like everything is against you. Beloved child, I know it hasn't always been easy to carry this burden. I know of the silent nights when loneliness seemed overwhelming, the moments when your heart nearly broke under the weight of doubt and uncertainty. I know of the times you wondered if you were truly worthy, if your voice would have the strength to be heard, or if all this inner clamor was nothing more than an impossible dream. But I'm here to tell you right now that you were never alone. I saw you in every tear no one saw, heard every prayer that wasn't spoken aloud, and felt your pain even when it seemed the whole world ignored you. I know you felt small in the face of so much adversity, that you carried the burden of rejection, misunderstanding, and silence. But all these trials, all these struggles, were not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen you. The path you walked was meant to prepare you, to polish the rough stone I chose, to be a beacon in the darkness. You are my masterpiece, sculpted with love and purpose. And even when contrary winds tried to extinguish your flame, I kept it alive because I know the fire that burns in your spirit. Don't let discouragement or doubt keep you from the mission I've placed in your hands. Even if no one around you understands, even if you feel invisible to human eyes, I see you with eternal love. I haven't abandoned you. I've never turned my back on you. Your journey, with all its ups and downs, is part of my perfect plan. At every step I was there, preparing the ground for your voice to echo louder than ever. Remember that the silence you endured was not empty. It was a sacred space of growth, a place where your spirit was nourished by my presence, even if you didn't realize it. Each moment of waiting was a seed planted so that, in due time, you would blossom with the fullness of the calling you received. The patience you have cultivated now will be rewarded with an abundant harvest of faith, strength, and transformation. I invite you to trust me with all your heart, even when you don't understand what's happening. Trust, because I am working for you. Trust, because I am faithful to my promises. And trust, because what lies ahead is greater than any hardship you've ever faced. I am preparing a new phase in your life, where fear will give way to courage, doubt will be replaced by certainty, and sadness will transform into indescribable joy. Even if the journey still presents challenges, don't forget that I am your safe haven, your constant strength in the midst of the storm. When you feel weak, remember that I am your shield. When the darkness seems dense, remember that I am the light that never goes out. You don't have to carry the weight alone, because I am by your side, guiding every step, supporting every decision, and comforting every tear. Now, breathe deeply and allow this certainty to fill your heart. You are loved, chosen, and empowered for what lies ahead. May this word be a heavenly embrace enveloping you, a flame to light your darkest days, and a renewed promise that you are not alone on this journey. Feel this peace invade your being, the same peace that surpasses all human understanding, and let it strengthen you to keep walking. Because the best is yet to come, and I will be with you every moment, celebrating your victories and supporting your weaknesses. Now that you understand part of God's calling for your life, I want to invite you to continue this journey with me. There's a next step that will further open your eyes to the depths of this time you're living in. God's silence, which for so long felt like emptiness or absence, has a divine purpose that few can comprehend. In the next video, I'll reveal exactly why this silence was necessary, why he took so long to answer, and how this waiting aligns with heaven's perfect plan for you. And perhaps until now, you've carried this silence like a weight. Maybe you've felt ignored by God, as if you were talking to walls. Maybe you've bent your knees, shed tears, cried out sincerely, and yet nothing has changed. No clear answer has come, no strong sign has appeared, and deep down you've begun to wonder if there's something wrong with you, if your faith is too small, if your prayers aren't enough, if he's truly listening to you. But what you don't yet know, and what you'll discover in the next video, is that there are times when God chooses silence not to punish, but to protect, to prepare, to mature. His silence isn't abandonment, it's a hiding place. It's a time to shape the vessel away from prying eyes, away from distractions, away from the voices that would try to sabotage what he's doing. And when you understand this, everything will make sense. You'll see that he wasn't standing still. He was being positioned, and that the time when nothing happened was the time when everything was being realigned in the spiritual world. It's crucial that you watch this continuation, because the understanding that comes will further strengthen your faith and prepare you for what's to come. Many of God's children give up just when heaven is about to release a miracle. Many throw away the promise inches from the answer. Many abandon their purpose the minute before the turning point. And all this because they don't understand that silence is not the end. Quite the contrary. Silence is the means. It's the interval between the seed and the harvest. It's the time the root grows before the plant emerges. It's the period when faith is tested, character is formed, and the spirit is aligned. Don't let this be your story. Don't get lost in the confusion the enemy tries to create during this time. Don't fall for the lie that God has forgotten you. He never has. He never stopped watching you. He never stopped surrounding you with his presence. But he needed you to stop looking for external signs and start listening to what he was already whispering within your spirit. Because there are revelations that come not with thunder, but with silence. And there are answers that come not with noise, but with discernment. Watch the next video to understand how patience and trust in divine timing are powerful weapons against fear and doubt. Heaven moves in its own time, and every mature child learns to discern its processes and appreciate the time of waiting. What lies ahead in your life requires spiritual structure. And this structure is only born in the desert, in silence. On those days when no one sees you, but heaven shapes you. In those moments when everyone seems to be going about their lives normally, while you are being pressured, questioned, and tested, but that's precisely where true messengers are born. This series of messages is not a random series of videos. It was made especially for you who are not content with superficiality and seek the truth that transforms. It is for those who have already understood that the gospel is not a stage for vanity, not religious theater, but rather renunciation, truth, and calling. It is for those who are ready to take their place in God's work, even when it means facing resistance, criticism, persecution, and questioning, because true calling is not comfortable. It costs, it demands, but it also rewards with what the world can never offer. I guarantee that as you follow this spiritual journey to its conclusion, you will feel a profound renewal, as if a new door has opened before you. A door not opened by men, but by God himself. A door that cannot be closed by systems, opinions, or fears. Because when God opens a door, no one can close it. And when he reveals something to your heart, no lie can erase that revelation. You will begin to see with the eyes of the Spirit. You will begin to perceive what previously seemed hidden. You will begin to discern what once seemed confusing. You will experience profound liberations. You will find yourself freed from invisible prisons that have plagued you for years. You will realize that many of your pains were not curses, but preparation. That many of your disappointments were, in fact, deliverances. That what was removed from your life was, in fact, what was preventing God's true plan from happening. And all of this will be revealed layer by layer, one by layer. Throughout this journey of connected videos which were prepared with prayer, fear, and purpose. So when this video ends, don't leave. Don't treat this moment as an ending, because in fact, it's a beginning. Click to watch the next episode, God's silence has a purpose, and continue to steadfastly walk your path. Continue to answer the call that is being released upon your life, because with each video, each message, each revelation, you draw closer to the center of God's will. You draw closer to the plan heaven designed just for you. You draw closer to the version of yourself that was written in the heavens before you were even born. Remember, you are not alone. Even when you seem silent, God never turned away. And now that the veil has begun to tear, it's time to go all the way. We're on this journey together. Heaven is conspiring in your favor. The angels are on the move. Time is being accelerated, and your name is being remembered before the throne. Now, there's only one thing left. You decide to continue. Click, watch, receive. Because what comes next will change everything, forever. May this word you heard today blossom in your heart like a seed planted by heaven itself. May the fire that burned in your soul during this message transform into an unquenchable flame that illuminates your path, even on the darkest days. I declare that the peace that surpasses all understanding will guard your heart and mind, strengthening every step of your journey. May you feel my presence enveloping you like an eternal embrace, reminding you that you will never be alone, even when the world seems against you. Now is your time. You have been set apart, chosen, and prepared to fulfill a mission that goes far beyond your current understanding. So, don't allow fear or doubt to silence the voice I have given you. Stand up boldly, firm in faith, for heaven is opening doors that no one can close. Your calling is real, your purpose is divine, and your victory is near. You are stronger than you imagine, more loved than you can feel, and more needed than you ever knew. If this message touched your heart and ignited new hope within you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel right now. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss any words I'll share through this space. Like this video to show your commitment to this spiritual journey, and share it with someone who needs to hear this truth today. Together, we are forming an army of light ready to reveal what has been hidden for so long. Get ready, because the best is yet to come, and I will be with you, guiding every step. May my blessing descend upon you today and always.